Hey everyone, Johnny Trek here, and welcome back to my guide to Noble Fates. So in the last episode, we kind of went over how to get started, how to build up your kingdom, your people, and kind of what to do when you get into the map for the first time. So now we're going to kind of briefly take a look at our nobles. So we're going to pause the game. You can kind of see, we have Olives here who's moving things back and forth. We have Pamela who's just preaching, and then you have Ramtat who is gathering the berries for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pause for a second, and we're going to zoom in here on Ramtat as he gathers for us. So about the nobles. So there's kind of four main people that you have, or types of people you have in the game. You have your ruler, which is in this case Ramtam. You have nobles, which are going to be these people. You have serfs, which are kind of like people you can control, but they're not really nobles. And then you have prisoners, which are people you captured. But for the most part, you're going to really be focusing on your ruler and your nobles. So when you select on one of them, you're going to get this nifty little chart right here that pops up. It's going to tell them their name, essentially what they're doing right now. So Ramtat is getting our octoberries. Kind of a brief overview of who they are, their race, their climate, their sex, the maturity state, their age, the level, their XP stat. So how much XP until the next level. The melee, how good are they with a melee weapon? Range, how good are they with a ranged weapon? Armor, how much armor they have? Warmth, how warm they are. Mobility, which is for movement. I don't actually know what dexterity does. And reasoning, I believe, is for social and talking to people. And then you have their inventory. So right now the inventory is nothing crazy. So he has a hammer, he has a bow, arrows, torch, which you can see he has on right now, a crown, and some clothing. He actually has a special kind of clothing as well. So, and we'll go over that a little bit. Abilities. So abilities improve your ruler or your noble. In this case, we have a base ability with this dwarf innate ability. And you kind of see, we get a +1 to mining proficiency, to crafting, but a -1 to farming, because we're dwarves. But we live longer than humans. And we also need drinks every 3 days. But then you have kind of two main abilities. You have passive and active abilities. Here we have two active abilities. And what they do is there's two types of actives. You have one that increases your skills. So in this case, we have one that increases hunting for 2 hours, both in 1 hour cooldown. So meaning every 3 hours, we can have a +3 to our hunting skill for 2 hours. The same thing with cooking. We can have a +3 for 2 hours to our cooking skill for 2 hours, and then use it every 3 hours. But then there are also kind of like defense and offensive abilities as well. So those ones are like, it will give you more armor for a certain amount of time, or you can reduce a target's armor for a time. There's one for that actually a little bit more skill based. Like, I think there's one that allows you to instantly grow crops or plants, and that's like with like a 3 or 4 hour cooldown. But if you're growing something, you can just right there, you can increase the growth speed just immediately. And then you have passive ones. The passive ones are pretty much very similar to the skill based active ones, but they generally don't go as high. So you might have like, say, a passive ability, but only gives you maybe a +2 to hauling instead of, did I say hunting before? I meant hauling, but only like a +2 to hauling, but it's permanent, which isn't bad. You can use those, I believe, to kind of go past the potential of a level, I think, and just kind of get up to that maximum level if you wanted to for skills. And then you have traits. So wakeful, fast healer, Pulisi. He uses the bathroom less. By the way, there's no bathrooms in the game, and I'm really surprised that that's the thing, that they haven't added toilets to the game. And then clumsy. He doesn't parry as often. So with that, you have this one called needs. And honestly, if you played games like RimWorld, it's very similar to what they have. So you have a food or a hunger, you have temperature, you have sleep, if they're tired or not, or you have light if they're in a light or dark place. A note on light is that you cannot have a place too bright. So when you build a building and you put a light in there, you can put as many lights as you want and be right next to the bed, and the noble will be happy. It won't interrupt their sleep. It won't interrupt, they won't complain it's too bright. They love light. So what you want to do is just make sure you have enough light in your room or in your buildings. And generally what you'll see is if you hover over here, you kind of get their opinions. They'll say something in like it is too dark where I am. So that kind of gives you an idea that, hey, I need to add more lights. You have clothes, how do they feel about the clothes? How do they feel about the hygiene, the socialization, lodging, prestige, a bunch of other things on there. Vitals is their health. So if you ever get in a fight, if they get injured, everything would be displayed here. As well as somebody's pregnant. It will say if they're pregnant on here or not. So jobs, we did talk about that earlier. So this will show you the jobs, whether they like it or not, and what level it is, and what the what the potential to the job is. And then you have the assignments, what they're assigned at, and what essentially what priority they have at the job. Now prestige. Prestige is something, it's measured what they want. It measures like how much that they want. And it's usually a sum total of everything that they own. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But items will have prestige. So for example, this one has a prestige of, I guess, is it 13? No, maybe not showed on here, but these do have prestige attached to them. So like this is prestige 8. I guess it shows right there in the bottom. This is 13. So 63 means this is a sum total of everything right here. Ambition is what they want the prestige to be at. So right now it's 62. It is less than what is their current prestige is at, so they're happy. But you're going to get to the point where, this is going to get high, so you're going to got to give them more and more things. Sometimes this one can get over 1,000. So you might have people who really want to feel special. Esteem, kind of essentially how they're feeling right now. It's going to be the measure of this little blue bar right here. So you hover over it, you can kind of, it shows the same thing. So they're very happy, new beginning. They like their clothes. It is bright where they're at. They're happy. But they have two things they don't like. Their kingdom is tiny, and he is foraging. He doesn't like foraging, so he's kind of sad about it. And it's going to take 2 days for that to go away. The tiny kingdom is more of a permanent stat because, well, it's really nothing you can do until you get more people. Opinions. Essentially what they like. And we talked about that in the previous video. He loves bows, he loves building, he loves axes. But if you go down, you can see things he hates. He hates farming. He hates blouses. He hates ranching. So you want to prevent them from doing things that they don't like. So like he doesn't want to do farming, so I won't let him do farming. He doesn't like blouses, so I won't give him a blouse to wear. He hates dwarf leather, so I won't give him anything that is made from dwarf leather. Relationships essentially shows like how they are with other people. So we have one person who's a relative, doesn't mind them. And then of course we have Olives and we have Pamela up here. And they don't mind them. They like them, they're fine, okay, we're good. Attraction, kind of gives you an idea of like, who they like and if you have somebody who they can potentially marry later on. In this case, Pamela is just a possible suitor. So, history, you can kind of see the history of the character, things that they like, essentially what's going on with them. Properties, auto-saving properties. I don't really know what these do. I don't spend too much time in here, and I haven't really seen much in here. So if you know, go ahead and like say something down in the comments. So right now I don't really know what goes inside here. So, but that's pretty much the overview for your nobles. So the next thing is you want to take a look at the belongings. So the belongings is what's going to give them their prestige. So for Ramtat, I said they have a current prestige of 63, which is the sum of all this stuff. Pamela has 16, and she wants 10, so she's good. Olives is at 14, and he wants 4. Oh, she wants 4. It's she, right? Yeah, so we're good. And I don't think, yeah, I got nothing to give right now, so, but what you can do is you have things over here, you have items over here, and, what we're going to do, we're just going to do something like this. We're going to take the wolf helmet for now. So do be careful, because when you do take an item from somebody, that is going to, make them sad. So in this case, Ramtat is getting a -12 to his opinion, because he took the wolf helmet from him. I love how it is. It's like, I took the helmet from me. But what you're going to do is when you see stuff on here, generally items, you can see a few things. One, you can see kind of the rarity of the item. If they have any buffs. So in this case, he has hands which gives him a +1 to mining. The prestige, and whether or not they like it or not. So he likes the wolf hide, so he's going to get a +1 to it, which gives him a total of 5, even though this is only a 4 prestige helmet. But he likes it, so he gets a +1 to it. He hates the cloth leggings, though. So even though it's a 4 value, it goes down to 2, because he hates it. But what you can do is you can just hit give, and he gives it to him, and it increases the prestige. Now, as you go and you start crafting more and more stuff, you can, if you have a bunch of like low tier items like this, you can hit junk. And when you go to sell stuff to people, you can filter by junk items and just sell everything. Or if you want to, you can hit salvage and your crafter will go and break it down. And you get some of the materials back. I don't think you get 100% back. I think maybe you get like 50 back. I'm not sure how much you get back. But if you want, you can also hit give. And it gives it back to them. And there we go. We have the prestige back up. Unfortunately, oh, actually, no, it is. Okay. It does get rid of that debuff. So that's how the prestige works. As you start crafting stuff where you get access to better items, they'll have higher prestige values. So you want to start giving it to them because their ambitions are going to grow over time. So, of course, you have overview, which is the overview that we just talked about, and then jobs, their skills, what they're doing, all that kind of stuff. So kind of a nifty little window through all of this. Sometimes people will ask for coins instead. So you can give them coins if you wanted to. So, give him like 2 coins. Oh, he has 2 coins now. Oh boy. And he has a prestige of 2 from that. In fact, if you want, we can give him maybe 3 more, and this would go up to 68. So that's another way you can increase prestige for users. Now, the one last thing I want to talk about before I end this video is the belief systems. So we talked about earlier how you can change somebody's opinion on things, and that's what the belief system is all about. So we are good, for example, we want have a good alignment. And you can see everyone in the kingdom. We have Pamela, who is neutral, Olives, who is neutral, but Ramtam, who is good. So what's going to happen is anyone who's assigned to the preaching job is going to go and start preaching and get people and change people's opinions. The same with this. We have somebody, Pamela, hates orcs, absolutely hates orcs. But whoever our preacher is going to come and they're going to try to change their mind. They're going to change their opinion on that stuff. So there's 2 ways you can kind of do this. Even one, you can add more principles to do certain things. So like cook edibles. Oh, actually no, let's do refarm. So we can do refarm, and that's going to try to get people to like farming. or even one, you can just do this manually. I want people to at least like ranching. So we're going to select that. It's going to take roughly 46 hours to get people's opinions up there. Maybe we want people to, you know, hate hats. You know, what's going to happen is they're going to preach to hate hats. So that's how you can kind of change things around. I mean, if you really wanted to, I guess you can hit autonomous and let people do their thing. Or if you want, you could just, you know, kind of select everything, go all the way down, just do all of this. And that's going to, you know, it's going to take a while to get all that. So like, for example, the jobs is going to take 1,200 hours, almost 1,500 hours to get everyone to really like their jobs. Oh yeah, we can change. You see that little yellow right there? That's because of the building one. And so that's going to be your principal. If I get rid of it, it's going to just disappear. There we go. And now you can select it manually. And a quick note about jobs is you have kind of two main jobs in the game. You have kind of labor-based jobs, and then you have specialty type jobs. Labor-based jobs are going to be things such as logging, guarding, preaching, hunting, foraging, hauling, cleaning, ranching, and mining. Essentially, as you level these up, you get better at that job, but you don't do anything crazy. So with logging, the higher skill you have, the more wood you're going to get out when a noble chops down a tree. With guarding, the higher the guarding, the better the melee is going to be. With hunting, it's going to be the better the more damage they're going to do with the bow. Foraging, you know, they're going to get more, more resources out of whatever they're foraging. Go back to here. Hauling is a little bit interesting. So at hauling, every 2 levels in hauling allows a noble to carry 1 extra item. So at level 20, a noble can carry 10 extra items with them. Cleaning, I think it just allows them to clean faster. Ranching allows them to get more from cows, for example. Mining allows them to get more from mining, you know, that sort of thing. And then what you can do is if you select an item, you kind of see what you're going to get out. So in this case, we're going to get roughly 13 berries out of this. So what we could do is watch him do this. I don't think there's a way to... Okay. So you see we have roughly 9 berries down here. If we go here, we have roughly 13 he can get. So we're going to fast forward for a little bit. Actually, we got 17. So the ripe is never going to be exact. It's just kind of giving you an idea how much you might get. Same with the tree. We might get roughly 19 wood out of this. Or we might get more. Or we might get less. It's going to be kind of like, you may get 19 out of it. That's going to be kind of your average. You're going to be the same with this, with like the copper. Roughly 2 copper out of this little guy. And same with the stone. Roughly 20 stone. Give or take, whatever. Now the other ones, which are your kind of specialty ones, are going to be building, crafting, farming, cooking, and I think that's about it. As you level up those, you unlock more things. And the one thing you can do is if you go into learning, you can see what you can unlock based on the level. So like for building, if you go all the way over here to this side, you can see what level associated with it. So under structures, at level 6, we can get stone walls, which we can do now. Level 8, we can get stone doors. Level 12, we can get fine stone doors. So you want to level those up because you unlock more and better things as you go. Same with crafting. There's multiple crafting stations that require higher and higher crafting skills to make stuff out of it. Cooking, same thing. You want to cook better meals, you need a higher cooking level. For farming, if you want to, plant or farm, higher plants, you need to have a higher farming level. Which again, here, octoberry bushes need a level 9 for farming to grow these. So, those are the ones that you really want to focus on leveling up because those really do impact your game in the long run. So, you know, you don't want to always be stuck at making wooden hammers. You want to start making copper hammers eventually, and then iron hammers, or steel hammers. You want better buildings because they do a better job for temperature. So that's kind of a brief overview of your nobles. If I missed anything or you have anything you'd like to share, feel free to add them in the comments. I'm always learning more about this game, so like I just love to know if I missed anything and just learn about it. So, all right, so I actually did forget to mention a few quick things. One, with the jobs menu, you have this training section. So what happens is you can set somebody to train, and when you come over here to this training tab, you can set what they need to train as. So I'm actually going to clear all of this right now. And what you're going to see is you're going to see the yellow, the difference between the gray and the yellow boxes. The yellow boxes are what people are assigned to already, and then the gray is they're not assigned to it. But if you want, you can still assign them to train. But let's take Ramtam, for example. I want him to train on building, and I want him to spend 100% of his time of that training to building. And maybe with Pamela, I want her to train nursing and then also train preaching. So you're going to have a 50-50, you know, split between there. So how training works is that there's two ways to train. The primary way is going to be through books. I have one book right here as a hunting book. I'm going to uncrate it and I'll put it right here. This is a tier 1 book set, and that's it. In fact, let's go ahead and have you go ahead and create this really quick. Oh, somebody's already doing it. Okay, so there we go. We have our tier 1 hunting book. So what this is that anyone who's between level 0 and 4 for hunting will come over here and they'll start reading it. And as they read, actually go ahead and go inside here. As they read, it's going to add experience to the hunting skill. So right now, Ramtam is level 6, but 60% of the way to level 7. So he's going to come over here and he's going to start reading, and that's going to increase his hunting skill. The other way, and actually that would work for all these others as well, as long as you have a book set for it. And there's 4 types of book sets. There's tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tier 1 is for levels 0 to 4. Tier 2 is 5 to 9. Tier 3, I believe, is 10 to 15. And 4 is 16 to 20. So that's how training would work. You also have training dummies. And these are mainly for people who are assigned to train hunting and guarding. So hunting and guarding would be training their melee or the range. And so they'll come over here and they'll start attacking it, and you know, eventually it's going to break, and so, you know, the builder will come back and rebuild everything, and the cycle continues. So that's how training works. And before I forget, there was one last thing too. The ruler has one very unique trait or ability that no one else has. If you hit C, you can take control of your ruler. Here I am. I'm controlling Ramtam. You know, if you hold down space, you can run. Just drain the stamina, as you can see in the bottom right. I can use my ability if I wanted to. So, you know, if I want to do honing, if I want to come over here, I can, you know, carry wood. You know, carry some more wood. Can I assume I can't carry any more? Can I carry any more wood? Nope. Okay. I can carry the wood. You know, if I want to, just kind of go back to the stockpile over here. And I think you can drop it down here if I remember correctly. Yeah, it says drop R. Boom. There we go. You know, if you want, you can attack. So, you know, if you're in the middle of a battle, you can, you know, attack with a melee. Or if you hold down the right mouse button, you can shoot through the arrow if you wanted to. What it's going to do is it's going to shoot up in the air, and then it's going to land. You know, if you maybe point down a little bit, the arch won't be as crazy. So, if I want to come over here, I can, you know, I think I can actually smack the tree, yeah. So I can chop the tree down if I wanted to. Wapa. Take this. So I can take the wood. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to actually carry some of this wood here. Because what I want to do... That's not the wood I can carry? Okay. We're going to... Well, I'm going to hit C to then go back into autonomous mode. I'm just going to build like a little wall here. Bloop. Like this. Hit C again. Come back in. And we get deposit the wood into the wall. And I think I can... Can I build? No, I guess I can't. I can just go in and deliver the wood to the wall, but that's about it. So if I go ahead and go out, you can see the wood has been delivered. Now we can go ahead and have him build the wall. Well, I guess the first thing is he needs to learn how to build the wall first. So, but yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. So thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.